Today, we're going to discuss about how to create a literature review. So, simulan natin yung pag-aaral tungkol sa paggawa ng literature review with these details. So, unang-una, what is a literature review? A literature review is an integrated analysis and synthesis of scholarly articles related to the topics or issues of your study. Ibig sabihin, kapag sinabi daw literature review, from the word literature, it means yung mga nababasa natin in words. It could be books, researchers, and other studies na pwede nating pagkunan ng mga informations na related sa topic na ating pinag-aaralan or our study. So again, this is about an integrated analysis. So i-analyze natin yung mga information na makukuha natin sa samut-saring mga scholarly articles or sources. I mean, kapag sinabi kasi nating scholarly, ibig sabihin yung mga gawa ng mga ekspertong mga tao. It could be authors or authors or writers. So, ang purpose natin kung bakit sinusulat yung literature review is for us to let our reader or readers have a full understanding of our study. So again, the purpose of writing a literature review is to let your reader have a full understanding of your study. So, yun yung purpose o dahilan kung bakit dapat nating isulat ang literature review in our research paper. It gives the readers full understanding kung ano yung ini-investigate mo as a researcher. Okay, so what to do before writing the RRL, or what should you prepare in terms of knowledge or details para makabuo ka ng literature review? By the way, RRL means review of related literature or simply a literature review. So unang-una dapat is one should identify the issue to be discussed on the paper. So kinakailangan alam natin yung topic na ating i-discuss sa ating literature review. And then we are to determine the problem statement or research questions. Dapat kinakailangan nasa utak natin kung ano yung problem statement ng ating study. And then also, we should also determine the scope and delimitation kasi mahalagang malaman natin yung kaibahan ng scope and delimitation natin sa ibang study na ginagawa din ng mga authors. And then, examine the findings kasi makakatulong ito to establish a more accurate or more significant literature review if we are going to compare and contrast works of other authors to our findings. Okay. So collect the materials from credible sources. So this is one crucial or a very important thing to remember before writing the RRL is for you to collect the materials from credible sources. So credible sources when it comes to websites, di pwedeng sa kahit anong websites lang tayo kukuha ng sources of information. It could be, pwede tayong kumuha dun sa mga website na merong .edu, .gov, or you can just go directly to Google Scholar. So, pwede dun. That would be one example of credible sources. And then, categorize the information gathered. So, kung marami ka ng information, you are to categorize them before starting to write it as a literature review. And also, be mindful of crediting someone's work. Why? This is for us to avoid plagiarism. So plagiarism, by the way, is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. Yung hindi sa'yo, you are copy-pasting it without crediting someone, and then you're just copy-pasting it without putting quotation mark is also one example of plagiarism. Even though meron tayong nilagay na pangalan doon, and then we are copy-pasting it without changing anything that could still be considered as plagiarism. If you want to copy-paste it, you can just put quotation mark, but of course, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yan all throughout writing the literature review. Okay, so important note about writing the literature review is that all information must contribute to the understanding of the topic and should be supported by evidences such as statistics. So it should be supported by evidences such as statistics. So again, so lahat ng impormasyon dapat ay para sa pagbuo ng pag-unawa sa topic. Ibig sabihin yung mga readers na magbabasa ng yung literature review ay magkakaroon ng pagkakaintindi kung ano ang study or research na ginagawa mo. Okay. So meron tayong two structure in creating a literature review. Pinakauna yung chronological at yung pangalawa ay thematic. What do you mean by chronological? Ibig sabihin kapag sinabing chronological, it is arranged in sequence based on the progression of time, that is chronological. Ibig sabihin yung pagkakabuo ng literature review natin is not written topically, but more specifically, it is arranged based sa time. Okay? So, this is pretty much easy than the thematic literature review, since thematic literature review is arranged topically or in categories in relation to the study. So, this is what we are going to be discussing for today as our focus of discussion. Okay, so simulan natin. So, this is going to be the structure of a literature review. So, pinakauna nating tandaan, yung pinakaunang parte ng thematic literature review would be this one. This is the broad topic. And then the next one is the information indirectly connected to the study. And the third part is the information directly connected to the study. So, kung meron tayong indirectly, meron tayong directly connected to the study. And then lastly would be the synthesis. So all of these things will be discussed later on. But before that, so all of these things will be discussed later on. So anong ibig sabihin ng broad topic, information indirectly connected to the study, and so on. So don't worry guys, because I'll be giving you full definition at examples kung ano tong mga parts na to. So for example, we have research title entitled Effects of Cyberbullying and Its Gender-Related Issue. I came up with a source for this text, so you can just read it here. So the effects of cyberbullying and its gender-related issue. Tandaan nyo kung anong title niyan, and we're going to create a literature review. Or I'm going to show you examples of how to create a literature review. Although it is not that long, yung mga examples na ibibigay ko is not that long, but the most important thing is you will get the idea of how to create your own literature review. First, broad topic. Ano yung broad topic? Kapag sinabing broad topic, it gives the reader an overview of what the general topic is all about. So, ibig sabihin ng overview, binibigay mo sa kanila yung pangkalatang pananaw tungkol sa kung ano ang topic mo. For example, the title was about effects of cyberbullying and its gender-related issue, kung tatandaan nyo. So, yung pinaka-focus ng first paragraph in here, or the broad topic, which is the first part of creating a literature review, is cyberbullying. The cyberbullying describes an act of embarrassing or communicating false information using the technology. So, it is now the new prevalent social phenomenon. And if you are going to observe that the next paragraphs are also about cyberbullying, information about cyberbullying, that of course supports the statement here in the first paragraph that this is now a prevalent social phenomenon. Okay, so you have there statistics. But the whole idea of writing this first part of the literature review is of course the broad topic, which is of course cyberbullying. So pwede pa tong pahabain. You can just put another source of information which also release some statistics. This is from Children's Research Center at the University of New Hampshire. But how about the other sources? So pwede pa nating madagdagan para mas mahaba pa yung ating literature review to establish credibility na talagang pinag-aralan natin yung ating topic before going on to presenting our own findings. Okay, so the next part is information indirectly connected to the study. So what does it mean? So, information directly connected to study are partly related information that refers to information from studies not directly related but somehow can affect the research. Okay? So partly related information refers to information from studies not directly related, but somehow can affect the research. So the title was about effects of cyberbullying and its gender-related issue. So information that is indirectly related to the topic would be about the gender-related issue. Diba? So it is related, but this is not the whole focus of the study, which is about the effects. Okay? So we could put, for the next part of creating the literature review, this gender-related issue. Okay. This is an example of the next part, which is the information indirectly related to the study. So this is how it goes. This is still about cyberbullying. So an important factor in understanding cyberbullying is the aggressor doing the act. The aggressor, often reported as cyberbully, are mostly girls, 38% compared to boys, 26%. It is also reported that 20% of these cyberbully girls that are mostly unkind on online social networks are from ages 12 to 17. Yung focus naman dito sa part na to are the gender-related issue when it comes to talking about the topic cyberbullying. Okay, so let us proceed to the next part. The next part, of course, kung meron tayong indirectly connected to study ng mga information, we also have the third part, which is information directly connected to the study. So what is this? So refers to information from other authors with the same problem statement. So kapag sinabi natin information from other authors with the same problem statement, so if our title is effects of cyberbullying and its gender-related issue, of course, yung pinaka-focus natin dito would be about the effects of the cyberbullying. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng mga starters tulad nito. The first part of the literature review focus on the demographics of the cyberbullied aggressor and victim. On this part, we will focus more on the long-term effects of cyberbullying to both the aggressor and the victim. Statistics by Nominate Trust showed that 20% those who are cyberbullied made them hesitant to attend to school, 5% reported self-harm, and 3% attempted suicide. Okay, so the last part would be about synthesis of the literature review. Anong ibig sabihin ng synthesis of the literature review? Means to put together multiple ideas from different sources to understand the role of each part or element of the paper. So yun. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga information from the first part to third part, gagawin natin ng paraan para ma-put together sila. Ibig sabihin, mapagsama silang lahat. Of course, that still should be in connection sa kung anong topic ng ating study. Okay. Cyberbullying, this is an example of how to synthesize. So cyberbullying has now evolved and now in a different form. Text message, phone call, email, chat room, instant messaging, and website bullying. As indicated in the previous part of this literature review, so pwede tayong gumamit ng ganyang mga phrases to emphasize the flow of our literature review, the flow of ideas. So it is clearly stated the direct relationship between the gender and the incidence of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is now prevalent with a continuous increase as years pass by. It also shows that the aggressor is more likely teenage girls than boys. In addition, and also to add details sa kung ano pang pwede nating sulat in every part. So, let me also suggest this. So, in broad topic, a researcher must focus on writing the definition of the broad topic along, of course, with some statistics that may support the existence of your topic. So, ganun yung pwede mong sulat sa broad topic. And also, in the second part, pwedeng, instead of writing the gender-related issues, you can also write about cyberbully victims or the relationship ng mga bully at yung mga nabully, and also yung theories of or teorya about cyberbullying. And the third part, you can collect information from different authors that either agree or disagree. And lastly, sa synthesizing part, those authors from the third part in this last part, you can compare and contrast those ideas from different authors. And that would be all, and thank you again for watching this video, and I hope you like it. And if you do, please don't hesitate to leave your comments, and if you have any questions or inquiries about this particular topic, so please free to comment on the comment box below.